millennials are a generation of people pleasers and perfectionists, right? It's a very wide statement, but I feel like most people that I hang out with, that applies to. And so we hold ourselves to this inhuman standard, frankly, and then we hold other people to that standard. But there are things that we would never, ever say to our best friend, to our colleague, to our children, that we feel is okay to say to ourselves, you know? And in that, like, oh yeah, but I should be able to do this, and I can do this, and I can handle this. Well, at some point, no, you actually can't. And you're setting yourself up for failure if you're constantly holding yourself to this standard and having this negative inner talk where you end up just being so consumed with the guilt and the imposter syndrome and the, you know, this desire to be everywhere and this feeling of constant failure if everything you're doing is not done perfectly. But to what end, right? Where is it getting you other than burnout? Nowhere. So I think for me, a lot of that moderation piece and learning to manage my own inner talk is this serving me? Is this serving the bigger purpose? And if it's not, then actually done is good enough. You know, like there are certain things in my life that I'm not willing to drop the ball on. You know, when it comes to parenting, there are certain things that are non-negotiable. And those are the things that I will do to a standard that probably leads me to burnout. But there's a lot of things out there that done is good enough. Right? Or saying no is actually good enough because actually it doesn't align with me. It doesn't align with my values. It doesn't align with my personal brand. That's it.
Can this methodology and the concept be taught with kids as well? Can you teach your children how to apply this concept in their everyday life? Of course, in their own language. I mean, not as an adult.
No, absolutely. You know, it's interesting because we obviously talk about it at home a lot. And it's not that I'm sitting my kids down and saying, this is what you have to do. But I think it's a philosophy and it's a way of life, right? So they do absorb it just by being around it. But you can absolutely teach them how to manage this. And their brains are still developing. But within what they can manage, to tell them that before you jump in to speak, hear yourself and hear the other person, right? Really know what your feelings are. And I think a lot of that comes with us as parents validating their need for space and their need for processing what's going on in their minds, right? So for themselves, hearing themselves speak, right? Understanding, okay, you acted up, you hit your sister or you screamed at somebody or, you know, you threw your water bottle on the stairs or whatever it was. Understand the context of why you did that, right? Like, what was it that made you want to do that?
Okay, let's imagine a situation which is impossible because I think your daughters never quarrel. Oh, is it? Okay, I'm just kidding.
Let's not live a lie. Okay, I'm all about authenticity.
Let's imagine this situation that your daughters are quarreling. What do you do? What's the right time when you step in? Is there a right time and do you step in?
So it's interesting because we established a pretty early system that if we hear them fighting, they start to lose. So their currency is TV time. They get TV once a week on Sundays. And if we hear them fighting, they start to lose TV time. Okay.
Fair enough.
So so because they value that, the minute they start fighting, and it doesn't, to be fair, it doesn't happen often. Okay. They have like small little, like, they'll annoy each other. More often than not, it's because one wants a hug and the other one doesn't want to be hugged in that moment. So I can't really complain. But often they'll start to fight and I'll just say, can I hear you girls fighting? And they'll be like, no. And they have this thing where they sing together and they go, we're just two little happy hamsters on a sunny day. And that's the end of their fight.